You know, I'm the kind of guy who walks into somebody else's birthday party, and I always check to see if the cake is my favorite flavor. And if not, I let people know loudly. Hell, if I see someone celebrating a graduation, I start describing my own grades and my own successes in school. If I see a wedding, I ask, where should I stand for the pictures? And then I start talking about how the lighting would actually be better for me if we moved across the street. And even when my daughter blows out the candles on her cake, I make sure that everyone knows that I've always blown all of them out in one breath, no exceptions. Seeing people experience normal happiness bothers me. And since it has no real role for me, I resent other people's happiness and success. I must be the center of attention, and I must be the loudest applause. And if you can't tell, in this scenario, I am Donald J. Trump. Yeah, the same Donald Trump that spent Spain's historic World Cup celebration proving that he cannot witness a historic moment unless that moment genuflects and kisses his ring. I mean, think about this. Spain had just won the World Cup. Players are crying, families pouring onto the field. Rodri about to lift the trophy that every footballer on earth dreams about touching once. And for most people on that stage, it was the culmination of a lifetime of work, and they may never get back there again. And then there was Trump, planted beside the team like a human watermark. And we saw Gianni Infantino handing over the trophy, the confetti firing, Spain doing the trophy lift, everybody jumping in the air, and Trump awkwardly staying right in the middle of it all. Infantino tried desperately to steer him away with that gentle body language that's usually reserved for that uncle that found the microphone at a wedding reception. You know the uncle. And he didn't want to leave. Donald Trump didn't, because in his head, Spain didn't win the World Cup. Spain won the Donald J. Trump Invitational presented by Donald J. Trump, honoring Donald J. Trump with special thanks to Donald J. Trump. And Spain only won because of Donald J. Trump. And seriously, think about how tacky this is. This guy knew what he was doing. You could see it on his stupid face with that little smirk. Donald Trump doesn't care about anyone but himself. But there was some glory there because the crowd booed Donald Trump mercilessly, loud enough that the White House press pool measured the jump in sound from 78 decibels to 84 decibels. And it might not sound like much until you remember that that measurement is logarithmic, which means that the audience didn't merely disapprove, they simply made sure that Donald Trump heard each and every one of them. And of course, FIFA and Spain, after all the celebration, they posted the photos. And the best part is seeing that Donald Trump was edited out. They may be the first institution, FIFA and Spain, the first institution in months to successfully enforce a boundary around Donald Trump. But of course, King Trump never travels without a court. We saw FBI Director Kash Patel releasing this slick video congratulating himself for the security of the tournament. Yeah, the FBI did its job. So naturally, the director of the FBI made a frickin' hype reel starring himself. And of course, it had the energy of a mall cop filming a documentary called The Night I Saved the Cinnabon. But really, my favorite piece of all of this is Nepo baby Andrew Giuliani, the executive director of the White House FIFA task force. And he wrote an entire Fox News op-ed thanking Trump for the mission and insisting that only President Trump could have pulled this off. Pulled off what exactly? Spain beat Argentina. Donald Trump wasn't on the field. FIFA ran the frickin' tournament. Donald Trump did not. Stadium workers worked the stadiums. Local police, transit workers, volunteers, coaches, players, and thousands of other people did the work. Donald Trump attended the last game and tried to ruin the trophy ceremony, and then left with the confidence of a man who thinks that he scored the winner and personally saved soccer from God knows what. So when are we actually going to admit that we're in Kim Jong-un territory? Is it when the FBI director makes his own tribute video? Is it when Rudy Giuliani's kid writes a thank you scroll to the president? Or is it when the president has to be physically guided out of someone else's championship picture? What is the line? Tell me in the comments what you think the line should be here, because that line keeps moving. And of course, before kickoff, it should be noted that Donald Trump was already asking Infantino to bring the World Cup back while he is still around. AKA, I don't think he plans on leaving the presidency. Donald Trump suggested that the United States host again, leaving out Canada and Mexico this time. You know, the two countries that helped host this one, and frankly, the only reason that teams like Iran even got to play. Just saying. But to wrap up my coverage on this World Cup, I'm glad finally someone stopped letting Argentina get away with all the things they got away with. We saw the international fans celebrating, and that was the best part of the World Cup, and it's the best part of any event like this, like the Olympics. And once the games kicked off, we were able to ignore that the Trump regime did everything they could to ruin every moment. But thankfully, the players on the field and the people that journeyed from around the world are the ones that made this a World Cup success. And ultimately, there was a clear winner. And there was a clear loser. Spain won. Donald Trump showed how much he was the clear loser of this World Cup. All you have to do is listen to the boos and realize that he was edited out of the championship photo. That's why I'm going to ask you to subscribe, because somebody has to keep track of who actually won and who actually lost.